Straya, NBA Straya. How you going? Surprise! It's a surprise show. I told you, if we had time, we'd do an NBA Straya. Guess what? We're doing it. It is Wednesday, November 6th. 6? There you go. Hump Day. I said that as a Kiwi, then I was just like, is it November 6th? I hope so. I'm your host, James Clement. You can also see me on the panel, the official NBL Supercoach show. You can see me on the AFL Today show. You can see me on NFL Straya as well. All the good stuff. I am here for a very, very brief show today just because it's a week 2 power ranking show, and I'm just going to do the 8 most surprising things so far this season we've encountered. Simple as that, right? It's going to be kind of like a couple of mixes of players and teams and vibes. So that's it. It'll just be a quick one. We'll sort of be in and out, and then we'll just, at the end of it, we'll just sort of rehash the picks from yesterday and just make sure if anything's changed and just go through and make sure they're all the same. All good? Good. Without further ado then, a very brief NBA Straya, he says, wink. Let's go!
This is Joe Ingles, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
All right, so as mentioned at the top, this is a surprise NBA Straya because there's no games today. So we always do the power rankings now anyway. So we've sort of just like already taped that. We'll cram that in after we do the 8 most surprising things so far this season. So I figured, we'll just throw it as the podcast and chuck it up because why the bloody hell not? It's as simple as that. We can double up. You can listen to it. You can also watch it. That'll be fun. Also stops me from checking the election results, which is just sadomasochist at this point. I'll tell you that much. Anyway, so there's no real other sort of news apart from, we had Aaron Gordon is out. Well, there's like 2 little things that sort of popped off. The Joel Embiid stuff, he's been suspended for 3 games for shoving the reporter Marcus Hayes, right? So in that altercation in the locker room a couple of days back about the writer, referencing his deceased brother and his baby son, which is all just shit. And it's like, yeah, Embiid probably should have given him a shove. If not, just give him a quick whack. I don't know. But 3 games for shoving him feels a bit overkill, if you ask me. But at the same time, I don't know if we should have NBA players assaulting members of the media. They are substantially bigger than the reporters. So anyway, and Aaron Gordon is out multiple weeks with a bit of an injury, which sucks because, Denver need all the help they can get. And with him sort of out, you're like, ooh, what happens now? What do they do? Jeremy Sohan has also got a fractured left thumb, so he's going to have surgery. So that was another one that literally just popped up too. That's a brutal one for a San Antonio team that needs, again, all the help they can get. So Aaron Air Gordon being out is just, I don't know, Denver are going to have those moments where they go, wait a second. So with multiple weeks with a calf injury, he's the sort of dude who just plugs all the gaps for Denver. Offense, defense, doesn't matter. Now it's a lot of Michael Porter Jr. Jamal Murray coming back from a concussion. Bro, I do not like this at all. Just saying. All right. So Sohan out, Aaron Air Gordon out, Embiid suspended 3 games even though he's injured. Sure. That's where we're at. Let's get into the 8 most surprising things so far this season. These are things that I just wanted to hit on. Like a couple of weeks in, there's no games today, so let's just talk it out. Number 1, the Bucks being this shit. They stink. Like, we get it. Dame can't guard anybody. You've traded Dame. We traded for Dame. You got rid of Drew Holiday. All-world NBA defender. Dame Lillard, all-world offensive player, but shit defender. We get it. But as a team, you shouldn't be this shit in defensive rating. They're 22nd. Doc Rivers, you meant to have fixed this shit. Oh, we didn't have an off-season. Yes, you did. This time you did. What's the excuse now? Oh, we don't have Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton doesn't fix the 22nd ranked fucking defensive rating. That's what bugs me so much. Like, Bobby Portis has been a fucking train wreck on defense this year. Brook Lopez is old as fuck. Giannis missed last game. He's been shredding it, but it's tough. It's really tough. But as a team, they also can't score, which feels like a problem if you can't stop anybody and you can't score. You know what I'm saying? So they're 20th in offense. Gary Terrence Trent D'Arby Jr. just can't hit a fucking shot. That probably should turn, but are you trusting it? I don't know. Maybe he's just not that good. And they're getting absolutely sweet dick all from the shooting guard spot, basically. No Giannis last time out was tough. They're 1-6, and you're sort of like, the sky's falling, the sky's falling. At the same time, those two close losses to the Cavs, they at least showed a little something. My problem was like the losses to Brooklyn and Chicago and stuff like that, where they just looked shithouse and they didn't know what the fuck they were doing. This team is thin and it's old. That's not a good combination, you know? They're like the Lakers East. It's like they'll look awesome some nights, they'll look shithouse the next. Not a great combo. So this is the thing where everyone go, why don't you trade Giannis then? It's like, well, you don't fucking trade Giannis because he's awesome. Do you think about trading Dame? That's a fun question, and I don't know the answer to it. So I don't know. I feel like you got to give this until Middleton comes back. We've talked about this before. You got the inbuilt excuse. We don't have Middleton, Jim. You can't judge anything until we've got Middleton. And then you've got another built-in 6 weeks of, Middleton's still coming back. Wait for him to get up to speed. It's like, bro, it's been 2 months. Are you any good yet? So they got all these built-in excuses. I think Doc just might be a bit shit and the NBA's passed him by. And the Bucks are just thin and shit. That's kind of my vibe so far. Prove me wrong, Milwaukee. Prove me wrong. I had high hopes for them this year as well, but I don't know. That wing rotation is fucking brutal. This is what happens when you miss on so many draft picks, and they've just missed time and time and time and time again. Like, the cupboard is just that fucking bare. And you're like, hey, save us Pat Connaughton. And he's like, bro, I don't think I can. I'm Pat Connaughton. Like, what do you want me to do? It's not great. It's not great. Anyway, number 2 surprise, the Cavs, obviously. Why specifically the Cavs, Jim? Well, Evan Mobley has been absolutely fantastic. He is like, the combination, I think the biggest surprise is that Kenny Atkinson comes in and just makes it all work. Because now you've got a real coach there in Cleveland. You've got Donnie and Darius playing well together, which is the key. But on top of that, you've got Go the Fro Jared Allen and Mobley playing well together. It's almost like having a good coach is actually important, you know? You spend all these years dicking around going, JB Bickerstaff is pretty good. It's like, is pretty good good or is pretty good shit? Because I think pretty good is good. I want actually pretty good, which is Kenny Atkinson, if that makes sense. Because like, JB Bickerstaff is pretty good because he goes to Detroit and they're suddenly not a fucking just burning piece of, like a burning bag of dog shit, which is what they've been the last couple of years, right? They paid Monty Williams $90 million to fuck off. That's how bad they've been. They bring in JB Bickerstaff for $20 and like a bag of cheeseburgers. And he's like, I'll fix it. And he kind of has already. It's awesome. Anyway, back to Cleveland. The thing is, their defense is fucking amazing. It's like the offense is second, the defense is 5th. Their offense being this good is probably the biggest surprise. It's because Donnie Mitchell, you get it. He's the driving sort of factor. But we've pointed this time and time again. He and Darius, it's never quite clicked properly. It is at the moment. And Mobley's filling in these gaps. He's taken like that next step offensively where it's just a little bit more to his game. He's a little bit smarter. The IQ's a little bit more there, and I'm fucking loving it. So Mobley, that big step up, love that. But how everybody is like actually gelling together, that's all Kenny Atkinson. Love that. Number 3, OKC's defense. But what about their offense, Jim? It's fucking amazing. Yeah, but their defense is even better. Their defensive rating is 93.8. I'll talk about this later in the power rankings, but and we hit on this in yesterday's show, the margin of victory in all 7 of their games over double digits, 15 points, 19 points, 24 points, 12 points, 23 points, 13 points, 16 points. Fuck you. That's insane. Like, what are we doing here? That's OKC also going, hey, what's that over there? Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, and just choking the shit out of every other team that comes in to play them. It's fucking incredible. Like, I love me some Dort. Psst, we need more Dort number plates. SJ's crushing it. You've got Caruso coming off the bench. You've got Case and Wallace. They're just loaded for bear. They're fucking awesome. But I think it's their defense that just blows my mind. You watch them play and you're like, they're just like lengthy dudes everywhere. And you sort of like, you know, you go to the bench and there's Alex Caruso and you're like, oh, that's not fair. What are we doing here? Anyway, great job by OKC. Good job by their defense. Like, that's the thing. You can hang your hat on a defense, right? With Chet in his second proper year, he's out there going, do you know how big I am? And everyone's like, Chet, yes, we understand that. He's like, fuck, I didn't know. I just realized it. Well, I'm awesome. Check this out. SWAT. It's fucking gnarly. And with like the improvement like J-Dub and all the young dudes like that, SJ was always a fucking terror defensively. It was like one of the weirdest underrated things for him. He could win an MVP, he could win a fucking scoring title, but he's an awesome defender. That's how good they are. I love it. I fucking love it. Outside of that, next one, the Spurs and Wemby being a bit shit is a bit of a surprise. Like, it sucks that Coach Pop is like, you know, he's had a health scare. He's okay. He just needs some rest. Don't know what's actually happened. Don't need to know. That's all. We're all good. We know. I don't want to get into a fight with Pop in the locker room and him shove me. But anyway, they've also just been a bit, they're 28th on offense. 28th. You brought Chris Paul in to fix that shit and you're 28th. Like, that's the weird thing. They're 9th on defense though, because Wemby's 7 foot fucking 40 and just goes, are you trying to shoot that ball over me? Oh, no, you're not. Bang. The weirdest part is he's also like, this is the biggest surprise and it's probably annoyed me more than anything. Why is that, Jim? Is it because you've bet on him a few times? Yes. He's shooting 7 threes a game and hitting 22% of them. Fuck it hell. That is just, hold your nose. 11 of 50 so far this season, Wemby. I think the weirdest part is it's not what he was playing like in the back half of last year. Like his rookie wall, he fucking went, I am 7 foot 40. Watch me jump this rookie wall. Huh? And he jumps over it. He's like, now I am the best player in the league. And you're like, fucking Jesus, he might be. This year, he's kind of like the same dude in the first half. It's like, I'm going to shoot these threes and I'm not entirely sure where you want me to go, eh? And you're like, you're 7 foot 40. Just go fucking close to the basket sometimes, dickhead. He's like, I don't know what this dickhead means. It's like, I'm pretty sure you do. Come on. And meanwhile, you got Keldon Johnson, CP3. They don't have Devin Vassell. They lose Jeremy Sohan. So the Spurs are going to be a bit shit. The surprise might be, I thought they'd take that little bit more of a step and win like 30-ish games. Like, they've not been that bad this year, but the offense being this fucking horrendous is shocking to me. So with, you know, the point god, the little general, Chris Paul out there helming in the 28th best offense, fuck me dead. Not great, Bob. Anyway, they should figure that out, hopefully. But at the same time, if they look down the fucking barrel and go, look, the West is loaded. We're not going to be any good. Let's fucking tank again. Just saying. It's probably not a bad idea. What are we up to? Is that 1, 2, 3, 4? This is 5. Philly being this bad. More importantly, Tyrese Maxey not going, Paul George, fucking piss off, dickhead. That was weird the other day. I don't think Paul George knew what the score was. And he's just like, oh, I'm going to shoot this 3. You win it. It's like, no, you're only down 1, you idiot. What are you doing? Oh, this fucking idiot. Meanwhile, Tyrese Maxey's standing over there going, can I have the ball? I'm the best player. This is my team. Paul George came back. He's like, no, it's not. No, it's not, young blood. It's like, shut up, Paul George. You've never won shit. You're the least clutch player ever. Like, fuck off. Tyrese Maxey's like, but wait, everybody loves me. Like, this is fucked. So I think the biggest surprise of them being like 1-5 is we came into this going, yeah, it was going to be a bit shit for a few weeks. It's been a few weeks. Paul George is now back. They've got a little bit of time up their sleeve to sort of figure this stuff out. But they lost to the Pistons and the Raptors. Those are 2 games, even if you don't have Embiid and Paul George, you should be able to get by with Tyrese Maxey and a bunch of veterans. They didn't. That was what's so worrying and why it's been such a surprise about them just being a bit shit. Because, like, Joel Embiid isn't fucking all sunshine and roses and no one knows when he's coming back. Meanwhile, he's putting fucking reporters through walls. Like, it's not great if you're a Philly fan. You're like, oh, fuck, what have we done? Anyway, Brooklyn being okay is a bit of a surprise. The arse is probably going to fall out of it. And when I say probably, I mean definitely, because that team is not good. This is exactly how some of these teams go, though. Each year, when you've been doing this, each year we see a team just come out of fucking nowhere and just be like, hang on a second, these guys good. You're like 6 weeks in, they're like, I don't know, 10 and fucking, 12. And you're like, they're just sort of cruising along, being half decent. Brooklyn might be that because they've got the new coach bounce. They've just got some dudes like Dennis Schroeder, Dorian Finney-Smith, Cam Johnson playing out their ass. Cam Thomas, he's trying his hardest to win the scoring title. But with that efficiency, I just don't think he can do it. But still, the point is they don't know how bad they are yet. And they're all like, hey, mine, like, next team will very much appreciate me, so I'm going to ball the fuck out for Brooklyn so they trade me. And that's going to be awesome. So Brooklyn being okay is a bit of a surprise. Did not expect 4-4. I think I bet the under for them, 18.5 total wins. They've already got 4, and I'm already angry. Just Ben Simmons comes every fucking time. Anyway, but if Ben Simmons comes back and is healthy and continues to sort of get better and better and better throughout the season, I love that. That's awesome. The biggest surprise is that he's played so far this season, which is great. So the biggest surprise might be that Brooklyn was smart enough to go, hey, don't be like Philly and Joel Embiid and say that we're not going to play Ben Simmons in back-to-backs. That's a fucking smart move. Up here for thinking, down there for dancing. What do we got? 3 more. Warriors being awesome. That was a big surprise. Geez, Jim, is it because you shit on them all preseason? Yes. But doesn't this one feel a bit more smoke and mirrors as well? Because it's the second best defense in the league. It's like, no, you're not. I just don't know if you are Golden State. I do not believe that. But Draymond hasn't even punched on with any Big Eastern European dudes yet. He hasn't even been suspended. Maybe he'll be good Draymond all season. Yeah, maybe pigs will fucking fly. I don't know. But Steph's now back, so they'll still be good. But for them to be 6-1 feels a bit how you going. And then you go, hang on a second, they've beaten the Blazers, the Jazz, the Pelicans twice, and Washington. And you go, there you go. Now I get it. That's why they're 6-1. So yeah, bit smoke and mirrors, just saying, keep an eye out for the Warriors. Ant-Man is the other big surprise. Jim, he's been good. He's averaging 27 points a game. He's shooting 45% from 3. That is actually a bit of a surprise that he's shooting 45% from 3. The big thing is that he's not absolutely curb stomping dudes, nor are the Wolves. But I think at the same time, the surprise is that it's taking this while, it's 2 weeks. The surprise is that they haven't figured it out just yet, and it's taking a little bit longer to figure out. This is the Julius Randle effect, though, right? It's just what's going to happen. Ant-Man's got to figure out his sort of new reality of, hey, when I pass Julius the ball, I'm probably not going to see it again. What should I do to incorporate this into our offense? And he's shooting the piss out of it. That's great. I was expecting just a little bit more. So that game, he had what? Against I want to say the Mavs or somebody. He drops like 37, looked fucking amazing. And there's been like 1 or 2 other really good games. Aside from that, he's just been solid. I expected fucking awesome. So that's been a bit of a surprise. They're the 11th offense and 13th defense, which is not good if you're Minnesota. I expected them to be a lot better, so that's a bit of a surprise that they're figuring this out still, as long as they are. And then finally, the rookies are the biggest surprise so far. It's mostly, I'm just surprised by every time I get surprised when I see Zach Edey on the court. I'm like, no, that's fake. Fuck off. He just looks weird. I get surprised every time I see him. It's just like, hang on. AI has fucked this one. What's going on here? Outside of that, Zachary Richardson, I've been surprised every time he hits the side of a backboard on his corner threes. He's fucked. Alexander Sarr, I've been surprised every time he's got on the court and hasn't like fucking bounced the ball off his knee into his own chin and out of bounds and shit like that. It's chaos. Cody Williams, I've been a bit surprised by how, well, not really. He's been very up and down. I love me some Cody Williams. Reed Shepherd, I've been surprised by how much he reminds me of, like, I don't know, Shane Heal mixed with Mark Price. Jim, just start naming white shooting point guards. I'm like, all right. That's what Reed Shepherd is to me. And away we go. But I'm loving this rookie class because it's so fucking weird. And that's probably it. Like, you watch Donovan Clingan and you see Zach Edey, you're like, these guys aren't real. This is fucked. What are we doing? It's great. And we need more Johnny Furphy. What are we doing? And Luke Travers, is there blocking the shit out of stuff? I'm loving that. All right. There you go. Those are the biggest surprises so far. The rookies, Ant-Man, the Warriors, Brooklyn, Wemby being a bit shit, Philly being bad, OKC's the Cavs and making it all fit. What else was the first one? The Bucks just stinking. It was such a surprise. It should have been fine. You've had the entire offseason, Doc. Where's your excuses now? We don't have Middleton. It's like, all right. Good excuses. All right, let's go do some power rankings right after this.
This is Josh Giddey.
G'day, this is Andrew Gaze.
This is Jack White.
This is Joe Ingles.
This is Dyson Daniels.
This is Chris Anstey.
This is Matthew Delvedova.
This is Shane Hill.
Hi, this is Ryan Brockhoff.
This is Mitch Creek.
This is Nick Kay.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya. And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening and watching NBA Straya.
This is NBA Australia. Let's do it.
All right, time now for NBA Straya's Week 2 NBA Power Rankings, a.k.a. What does Jim think about all of these teams right bloody now? Let's start in the utter butt tier. That is a tier we're all big fans of, right? Hey, number one, it's the Philadelphia 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Sixers. Why is that, Jim? They're only 1-5. They don't have Embiid and Paul George. Yeah. And in Joel Embiid's punching on with bloody reporters and getting suspended for 3 games while already injured, I don't think that's great. So I think you're going to be at the bottom of the utter butt tier, Philly. Already Tyrese Maxey's like, hang on, why is Paul George taking game-winning shots? Isn't that my job? This is his first game. This sucks. I'm the best player here. That's going to go great in Philly. They also dropped some bad games. Philly, you're bad. Also utter butt, the Milwaukee Bucks. It's not Algonquin for the good land at the moment, is it? No, it's not, Jim. Why is that? I can't hear you ask. Well, you see, Giannis set out the last game. Dame drops 1,000,000 points and they still lose. Look, it's fine losing 2 games to the Cavs because their Cavs are very, very good. The Bucks, however, have also lost to basically everybody else, including, and not limited to, Brooklyn and Chicago, 2 teams that are just bad. And also, I think you're just bad, the Bucks. Doc Rivers is like, why did I do this? And then he looks at Giannis and he's like, oh, that's why I did it. Yeah. I came out of retirement for this. I was hanging out, playing golf, chatting with Larry David all the time. This was great. Now I'm doing this. Yeah, it's such a cushy job as well. It's like rock up and do the basketball commentary like once a week or whatever it was. Good stuff. Way to go, Doc. You're covering yourself in glory at 1-6 with the Bucks. Gross. Dame's cooked. He can't defend anybody. Anyway, the Bucks are TOAST, toast at the moment. They are utter butt. The Utah Jazz, you could change their name to the Utah Butts because they are just... Look, I get it. You're playing Keontae George. You lose Taylor Hendricks to the broken leg. It sucks. But Larry Markkinen not being there has just completely gone, hey, is there anything else on Utah that's good? And Utah have gone, oh, geez. Actually, not really. As I keep saying on the show, they keep slipping the sex man Sexton in and out of the starting lineup. Then it's like, oh, this isn't working. We'll put Jeremy Clarkson in the starting lineup. That never works. He's just bad. He's like, I've got the ball, I'm shooting, and then I'm going to try to fight you. He's one of the great just face up and give it, come on, have a crack. Anyway, Utah, you're very, 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 very bad. But it's fine because you might get Cooper flag, which is good. 1-6, Utah are on a butt. And the Washington Wizards, look, I can't blame the Wiz for being utter butt because that's what they're trying to do. They're like, we don't care for utter butt, Jim. That's the point. And I salute you, Washington, for being so utter butt. That's what it's all about. Seriously, they're playing the kids. That's what they should be doing. Happy days ahead. And every so often they'll beat Atlanta. Because Atlanta in the next one, they're kind of just bad. The Hawks, Trae Young's just like, hey, guys, check this out. I'm going to go shoot 1 for 10. Hey, for my next trick, I'll shoot 2 for 10. And you're like, hey, Trae, these tricks are bad. At least they've got Dyson Daniels. That's good. He's been awesome. I love him. We love the vacuum. The Bendigo Bandit. But he's out there going, brap, 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 as they beat the Pelicans. That was sick. Sir, he was doing gun fingers at us. Then don't let him shoot threes. I don't know what to tell you. You boys sort it out yourselves. Anyway, Atlanta, look, they are just kind of bad. But at the same time, they are also beset by, injuries to Bogdanovich and co. But at least they've got Jalen Johnson. He's a weapon. I love him. They're also just sort of looking at this rest of this roster going, all right, what are we? Are we a playoff team? Probably not. I just think you're kind of bad. Same goes for the LA Clippers. They've just opened Intuit Dome with, 4 straight losses, and then they finally get a win. It takes everything within their power to fight back and, get by Wemby and the Spurs. They were down 26 points in that game as well. But hey, we got a win. Great job. It was all because of, what was his name? Amir Coffey goes absolutely hammer and tongs. After they lost 4 straight at Intuit Dome, do you reckon Steve Ballmer was like, am I going to have to bulldoze this place and just start again? What have we done? The robots are taking over. This sucks. I don't want any... Oh, I've made a horrible mistake. And then they got a win against a horrible team. But still, great job, Clippers. But you watch the Clippers play and you're like, what is this? This is just basketball malpractice. Considering Steve Ballmer's just gone, hey, I've got $1 billion that I'm going to go build my new arena with all the robots in it. It's like heaps of robots and AI. Check it out. And everyone's like, great, Steve, we've got a wall. Apparently it's awesome to play in. Great. And then he's like, you know what I don't want to pay for, though? Paul George. Just that fourth year is going to kill me. You're off your head, Steve Ballmer. Anyway, Charlotte, they're kind of just bad, but they're fun. Look, they're fun, but they're bad. They're bad, but fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, LaMelo, he is just, the next time he plays defense will be the first time. You know, that sort of vibe. You got Trey Mann crushing it. Micic can't get on the court. Our man Josh Green's out there. Spindles Miller finally came back. They'll get into a groove mid-season, and they'll be okay. Don't worry about Charlotte, but for the moment, they're kind of just bad. And Toronto, they lost Scotty Barnes. We know that. That makes them bad. The problem is RJ Barrett is their best player now, and he's like, I'm RJ Barrett, your best player, and then goes 5 of 21 after dropping back-to-back 30-point games. This is the Toronto experience wrapped up in a hole. It's like, this is great. We've got Teenage Mutant Jakob Poeltl and RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickly. This is just not great, is it? And it's just not great. Prayers up for Toronto fans. You'll be fine. Not their fault. They're just badly injured. The Orlando Magic. And when I say they're just badly injured, it's like they lose Paolo Banchero and then they lose a bit of Wendell. Yeah, I keep saying on the show, just give them a veteran point guard. They'd be able to ride that out. But they were smarter than everybody. We don't need a point guard. We've got Anthony Black. Yes, that second year dude who's very inconsistent. That's going to be your plan, Orlando. Look, they'll be fine once Paolo comes back, but you've got a rough 6 weeks ahead. And the Pelicans, they had a starting lineup the other day that had Spindles Ingram as their only starter from the start of the season. We're 2 weeks in. How is everybody hurt? That's insane, Pelicans. They also don't have a center. They're like, Yves Missy, he's our center. It's like, that rookie? Okay, yeah, he did a sick dunk against Miles Turner, but look, it's not their fault they're this bad. They're injured. Haven't realized they suck yet. This is a fun tier. Brooklyn are like, we're for it. We're third in the East. Are we going to win the title? No, you don't realize you're bad. Ben Simmons is bad. I mean, look, Ben Simmons is bad at the moment. Ben Simmons is trying to get back into like being healthy and actually doing stuff. Meanwhile, Dennis Schroeder, I am German Rondo, is just like crushing it as the world's greatest trade piece so far to start this season. But on top of that, Dorian Finney-Smith is like, hey guys, check this out. I'm awesome. And everyone's like, we're not sure that you are. And he's like, no. Trust me. I'm going to take this shot. It's going to, I missed it. And then Cam Thomas is like, guys, clear out. It's Cam Thomas time. And everyone's like, that's fair. And then he'll go and drop 12 points. Anyway, look, Brooklyn, they've been chaos. And they just don't realize they suck yet. They've got a good new coach. That's handy, but they suck. The Spurs, same sort of thing. But they've kind of hit this point. It's like, oh, God. What was that? Do we suck? So they're slowly realizing how much they suck. Or at least they're realizing how tough the West is this year, where they should suck one more time. And Chris Paul's like, we're not going to suck. And it's like, you're really old. So, Chris, just sit down. You can't change the trajectory of this right now. Hang on, mate. Just go over there. Miami. I don't think they've realized they suck yet. It's like, we've got Bam Adebayo. We've got Tyler Hero. Yeah, Tyler Hero. How's his defense? Oh, is it bad? Yeah, it's really bad. Jimmy Butler, he's old. I love Jimmy Butler. He's a lunatic. I'm the best dominoes player that ever lived. It's like, no one cares, Jimmy. Just make it to the finals again. Shut up. Anyway, Miami are just bad. They don't realize it yet. They're not going to win anything. They're just kind of crummy, you know? And I don't think they've realized it yet. Maybe they'll get there. Detroit, they're fun, and they haven't realized that they suck yet, which is an awesome spot to be in if you're a Detroit fan. Unfortunately, it also means you have to watch Tim Hardaway Jr. and Tobias Harris keep you in games and then beat the Lakers, which was awesome, don't get me wrong, but by the same token, like, you do kind of suck, but you've got Jade and Cade, Jade and Ivy and Cade. We call them Cade and Ivy. They're really good. Let them cook. You're going to suck, but it's fine. I don't know why they papered over the cracks with Tobias Harris and Tim Hardaway. Maybe it just felt good. They're like, you know what? We'll get a win against the Lakers this year. That'll be worth having Tobias Harris. It's not worth having Tobias Harris, just saying. And Portland, they're fun. They've just got dudes. I talk about Houston all the time. They've got too many dudes. Portland have just got some dudes, and that's good because it means their floor is kind of high. Like, some days the floor will just completely fall out of the entire joint, but they've got some dudes who are good basketball players. I love Danny Avdija. That dude is an absolute lunatic. Jeremiah Grant. You're like, Scoot Henderson, are you good? He's like, I don't know. It's awesome. It's chaos. They're like, we should have like a good and a fun bad tier. But that's kind of what all these teams are, apart from Miami. They're just not fun. Fun but don't know if they're good. That's a little bit of a different tier from Portland because the Sacramento Kings are fun. I don't know if they're going to beat anybody in the playoffs, though, but they're fun. You got Domantas Sabonis beating the Heat on a weird putback, just lob shot. He's shot putting it in there. That was great. They're beating all these crummy East teams. That was sick. Let's go Sacramento. You've got De'Aaron Fox. You've got the Souvlaki King, Domantas Sabonis. You've got DeMar DeRozan there. You've got Malik Monk. You've got Kevin Huerter, the Ginger Ninja. They're fun. Are they good? Maybe. Maybe not. Are they going to beat anybody? They've got an entire season to figure that out. And Indy going to Dallas and smoke the Mavs in a shootout. That was fun. I just don't know if they're good. Like Tyrese Halliburton, he was good last year. Is he good this year? Nobody knows. Least of all him. Like, it's bizarre. They've got Benny Mathurin back. That should be a good thing. It feels like it's like almost a net negative, though. Like, you've got Andy Nemhard and like the rest of those role players going, what do we do now, man? Benny Mathurin's taking all the shots, hey? That's definitely their voice, BT Dubs. Anyway, Indy, look, they're fun. I don't know if they're good yet. They're fun for the moment, though. Go the overs. Chicago! These are very close to being, haven't realized they suck yet, because I feel like they've kind of realized they suck, and they're like, we don't care. We're playing fast. They're like number one in pace. They're just like, don't care. We're bad. Just go quicker. Just go quicker. It'll be over faster. I'm pretty sure that was the name of my sex tape as well. Anyway, figuring stuff out. That's the anyway. Back to I don't want to jump that. The Bulls. That was such a good joke. I feel like I should have just left it there. But the Bulls. Look, Levine didn't play the other day. When Levine plays next to Giddey, you've got AO, you've got Kobe White, you've got Vooch, they've got Patch Williams. He still doesn't know how to play basketball. It's amazing, but they've just got some fun dudes on that team. And when you watch them, just weird stuff happens. And it's kind of cool because they're in those awesome Chicago uniforms, you know what I'm saying? So they're kind of fun. I don't think they're good, though. In fact, they probably do stink. The figuring stuff out tier. This is the New York Knickerbockers of New York City. We knew they'd be taking a little bit of time to figure stuff out. They're 3-3. That's fine. That is slowish sort of start. The last loss to Houston, bit of a worry, but that's okay. They're figuring stuff out. You know, that's kind of it. You bring in Cat, you've got Mikal Bridges, you got to figure out how it all fits. Doesn't help that Deuce McBride goes 0 of 9, but still, Knicks still figuring stuff out. They'll get there. The Lakers, I think, are figuring stuff out as JJ Redick goes, is Cam Reddish good? And Cam Reddish is like, sir, I do not know. It's like, okay. And Bronny James like, Dad, put me in. He's like, I'm not your coach. Wink. Anyway, the Lakers, they're still figuring stuff out. Like, do we have a bench? The answer is no. Figure that out and away you go. They're going to have to do some trading once we hit December, I reckon. Memphis as well, they're figuring stuff out. You knew that was going to happen. Ja Morant hasn't played basically in 2 years, it feels like. They're going to figure a lot of stuff out. They've got no Desmond Bain at the moment, but Scottie Pippen Jr. is a weapon. That's fun. Triple J keeps banking in threes. It's weird. They're figuring stuff out. Houston as well. They're figuring stuff out because they've got too many dudes. They've just got 1 million dudes who are all half decent. And like Ime Udoka's like, I'm going to root your misses, but also I'm going to try to figure out who's good on this team. And you're like, all right, Ime, figure this out. He's like, it's going to take me some time. That's why I'm on the figure this stuff out tier for Jim. Nailed it. Houston are really it could be another tier of like fun, chaos, stupid, don't know what's going to happen, don't want to bet on them teams. Houston are like number one in that category. Like, you don't know what you're going to get. It's like box of chocolates. They're 4-3, and in no point have you ever felt confident in them. You know? It's chaos. I love it. Good, not great yet. The Minnesota Timberwolves hit on this earlier in the surprises, but the Wolves, they're all like, they're good. They're too good to be in the figuring stuff out tier, I think, at the moment, despite also being 4-3, the same as the Lakers, because they've at least got like Ant-Man and they've got Gobert, and they've shown flashes like when they beat Denver of being really, really, really good. But they're not quite great yet because then they turn around and lose to the Spurs. You know, that's the Wolves' experience so far. Denver is the exact same thing. They're good. They keep winning these stupid games, but they should be smashing bad teams, and they are not. They're like pulling out like these absolutely insane overtime wins or last-second wins, left, right, and center. And what's Michael Porter Jr.? Is he good? Jamal Murray, he's out with a concussion. Brutal. Now they got Russell Westbrook going, hey, check this three out, and then hitting it. And you're like, oh, I did not see that coming. And Dallas, you can't go and lose to the Pacers in a shootout. That's meant to be your thing. You're the one who's meant to win the shootouts. That's why you got Klay Thompson. We know he can't play defense. He hasn't been able to play defense for 4 years. Like, what are we doing? So Dallas, They're good, but they're not great yet. They're also 4-3. You know, it's just like this weird mix. This actually should just be the 4-3 West tier, but that also misses the Kings. Anyway, the smash and tin, stack and wins tier, where I just don't know if I believe it for the moment, but they are stack and wins. Golden State, we mentioned them earlier in the actual show about how, hey, they're like 6-1. That's awesome. We all believe in the Warriors. Steph Curry's back. Yeah. Who did those wins come against, Jim? Well, I'll tell you, you see. Came against a Blazers team that's not very good. Came against a Washington team that's not very good. Came against the Pelicans twice. They're not very good. Like, they keep just beating bad teams. That's all you need to do sometimes in the NBA. And when you have a, bit of a marshmallow bit of your schedule, take care of business. That's what they did. That's how you do it, Warriors. Love that. They're smashing tins, stacking wins. Now Steph Curry's back. They should be fine. It's a very nice launch pad, 6-1, I'll tell you. And the Suns, they keep pulling wins out of absolutely nowhere, and that's fine because you've got Kevin Durant. That's how it should go, right? He's like, we've got one of the best 15 players of all time. Hey, Kevin, can you win this game? He's like, yes, because I'm Kevin Durant. Sorry, I'm just going to argue with this 14-year-old online for another 5 minutes. I'll get back to you guys and win the game. It's incredible. I love this Suns team is absolute chaos. Now they've got an actual coach who cares, seemingly. Like, Vogues, I think, was just like, dude, I'm still getting paid by the Lakers. This is sick. Like, Buds is awesome. He's going to instill just at least something credible there in Phoenix. They're good. I love him. Devin Booker's crushing it. And then you have the elite of the elite of the elite tier. And these three teams are so good that it's a bit ridiculous. Boston, the reigning NBA champs. We get it. Oh, geez. Do you think Boston are just really good, Jim? Yes, they keep curbs. They don't have the extreme zinger meal. They can just go, hey, Jaylen Brown, do you not want to play today? He's like, nope. And they're like, all right, sick, RDO. Let's smash Charlotte anyway. Like, that's how good they are. They don't care. They're like, you know who's going to dominate tonight? Peyton Pritchard. It's like, what? Isn't he the painter? The guy who's just out the front painting the stadium? They're like, yeah, but he can shoot threes. It's like, can he? All right, sick. Boston are just terrifying. It's ridiculous. And if you're in the East, you're like, all right, how do we beat them? And the next team, Cleveland. They might have a little bit of the answer. And I cannot wait to see a bit of this Cavs-Boston rivalry the rest of the season because they've got Jarrett Go-the-Throw Allen. They've got Evan Mobley. You've got your two scoring guards in Darius Garland and Donnie Mitchell. That other spot is the big question mark still, right? They try to go, we've got Isaac Okoro, we've got my sweet baby Karis LeVert. It should be all right. But the Cavs are absolutely stomping teams. They get by the Bucks twice back-to-back. That was awesome. That's just the hallmark of a great team, a really good team, right? You take care of another wannabe contender on a back-to-back. So their first win over the Bucks the other day, they were on a back-to-back, the Cavs. They went to Milwaukee, and they still beat them. It was awesome. Then they turned around and smashed them, and Garland went absolutely sick in the next game. The Cavs are legit. They're unreal. Kenny Atkinson, I love you. I think he just needs people to hear. He needs people to say that so he can hear it. Because he looks so stressed. Like, have you ever seen Kenny Atkinson look relaxed? Never. That dude is like a Long Island cop who is somehow like a bloody like basketball coach. He's like, I'm angry all the time. As long as I don't have a gun, everyone's safe, right? Like, it's nuts. Anyway, and then the final one, the elite of the elite of the elite, is the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have an insane defense that is absolutely through the bloody roof in terms of they have the best net rating in the league. They have a defensive rating of 93.8, and they've won all 7 of their games by double digits. They're number 1 on the power rankings. They're unbeaten, and that is NBA Straya's Week 2 Power Rankings. All right, how good were the power rankings? Love that. That was fun. Jim, do you just like yelling for like long amounts of time about basketball? Fucking obviously. That's what the entire show is. All right, let's do some picks for tomorrow. We did these on yesterday's show, but just to rehash, we have Detroit at Charlotte. That is a 1.5-point game now towards Charlotte. I think I still trust Charlotte. -1. Well, I mean, I like them at 2.5, so I still like them at 1.5. So we're still doing Charlotte. Orlando at Indy. I'm still going Indy -7.5. That's a bit too easy for me. That's actually gone from 6.5 to 7.5, and I still like Indy because poor Orlando, just brutal. Golden State, Boston, that is a 7.5-point line. Still, I might actually swing this around to Boston. I had Golden State plus 7.5, but as you sort of look at the stats and stuff, you're like, is Golden State's defense really that good? I don't know. Boston might curb stomp them, so let's go Boston. The Knicks are in Atlanta. Atlanta, the arse has fallen out of them. It's now a 7.5-point line. I just don't trust Atlanta against this Knickerbocker team. Even though, like, Trae Young hates the Knicks, this isn't Atlanta, so we'll see what happens. Give me the Knicks minus 7.5. Ooh, maybe Atlanta. What do you reckon? They got a bit of size. I just don't know if they can do it. They got enough defensive guards to hound Trae Young. Let's go the Knicks minus 7.5. This might be the last time I tip the Knicks as a favorite if they lose this, though. Just saying. San Antonio take on Houston. They are 6.5-point favorites now, the Rockets. This is the one I'm going to swing around to the Spurs. It's just, they lose Sohan, but at the same time, I don't know if that's a bad thing. Give me the Spurs plus 6.5. They've already played twice this season. It's so weird. I'm just going to trust in Wemby. Big bounce back game. Cleveland take on the Pels. It's a 7.5-point line. I'm still going the Cavs there. No problems because the Pels are banged up. Then you have Memphis and the Lakers. The Grizzlies are half-point favorites. I will go the Grizzlies just because there's doubt around AD and his foot injury. So Zach Edey just could dunk over absolutely everybody on that Lakers team. It wouldn't surprise you. We have Chicago at Dallas. The Chris Anstey Cup. Love this one. The Mavs are 10.5-point favorites. Chicago, I just don't know if they're going to be able to hit enough shots to keep up with Dallas. So I'm going to take Dallas minus 10.5, even though it's a massive line. They were embarrassed the other day by Indy. So give me the Mavs. We have Thunder Nuggets. I love a good Thunder Nuggets. That's actually blown out to 6.5 points in favor of Oklahoma City without Denver having your man Aaron Air Gordon. I'm going to take Denver plus 6.5 at home. They play only close games anyway. Even without Aaron Air Gordon, maybe they've got a bit of a shot here. So give me the plus 6.5 at home for the Nugs. Miami Phoenix is 5.5. I'm still going with, I went with Miami. Why would I do that? I can't remember my reasoning from yesterday, producer Gerald. Should we go Phoenix minus 5.5? They've got Kevin Durant, Jimmy Butler, Devin Booker. I like Phoenix a little bit more. Could actually be a bit of a, I don't know, if Jimmy Butler wants to trade. Just saying. Toronto go to Sacramento. Sacramento are 10.5-point favorites. It's just too many points. Toronto just play teams tough-ish when they're not getting their heads kicked in. Give me Toronto plus 10.5, and then Philly Clippers. It's the Paul George coming home game. Clippers are 1.5-point favorites. I actually like Philly in that one still, plus 1.5. And there you go. That's it. That's tomorrow all set up for you. Picks, previewed, bang. We broke all those games down in yesterday's show as well, so everyone listened to it. That's a little bit of a rehash for you. All right, that's it for today. We'll be back on deck tomorrow to wrap up all 12 of those games tomorrow. Get around us on what? The old YouTube, Facey, Twitter, IG, TikTok, all the good stuff, the socials. Get around NFL STRAYA with myself and Gaz, chopping it up about the NFL as well. A fun one this week. Check us a rating, review on your Apple Podcast, your Spotify, YouTube, whatever weird app you use on the Android phone. Rate, review, star it, leave a comment. I don't have to fight it. Look, do I have to climb into your phone, jump out and go, oi, I'm Jim, fucking comment or I'll smash her? Because I will. I'll figure out the technology and I'll do it. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song and to producer Gerald. He does all the work actually here. Go check out House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinated Goldmines, Ramshackle Army, Iowa, Section 8, Green, and Dozers. They're behind all the tunes you hear throughout the show. Smash them all on, all the places you get your tunes. Simple as that. NBA Straya supports Australian bands, so should you. But that's it. We'll catch you tomorrow, you dickheads. In the meantime, this is NBA Straya saying, look after yourselves, would you? And let us know.